And now we turn to politics and an end to speculation about the possibility of Premier Clark calling an election this fall. Clark's public appearances have seemed to be infused with electioneering, but tonight we can set the record straight. There will be no fall election. There will be no spring election. So when can we expect to be going to the polls? Well, Premier Clark is about to tell you that in an exclusive report from our Brian Coxford.
It looked very much like the beginning of an election campaign. The Premier rubbing shoulders and taking pictures with Portman Bridge construction workers and their families. Many were guessing an election call couldn't be far away, but they're wrong.
I'm not planning a fall election. I'll tell you why.
The reason? The Premier says everyone she's talked to here and at other public gatherings doesn't want an election, and we won't be going to the polls in the spring or anytime soon.
What we're planning for, what the government is planning for, and what my party is planning for, is that we'll have an election on the set election date in May 2013.
The Premier says some of her priorities for the fall sitting of the House in early October are programs for job protection and creation of new job markets. She wants more BC Hydro and ICBC reviews to keep rates low, and the creation of an Auditor General for municipalities to monitor their spending.
Nobody in government really likes having an Auditor General because they often point to the things you're not doing as well as you could. But that tension that exists in government is important for protecting taxpayers. So an Auditor General at our level or at the municipal level will be making sure that we are getting value for money in all the things that we tender publicly and all the work that we do.
The carbon tax and the carbon trust that takes money from hospitals and schools are up for review. They raise hundreds of millions of dollars. The larger carbon tax may be used to help lower mainland cities pay for transit expansion. Would you redirect the carbon tax to transit?
I've told the lower mainland mayors that I'm open to having that discussion with them if they want to have it. Now, they haven't so far wanted to have that discussion, and it's really important to me to make sure that even if we enter into that discussion, we aren't talking about a carbon tax coming from Kamloops or from Prince George and paying for transit in the lower mainland. That is absolutely not on.
On Sunday, the Premier met with Prime Minister Harper in Abbotsford. Now that we have voted out HST, she asked him if he was open to talk about not recovering all of the $1.6 billion the federal government paid BC to join the HST program. And the door is apparently open.
Well, the Prime Minister is engaged in it, I'm engaged in it, and he knows that I'm fighting for the best deal we can get.
And it may not be a given we'll lose all that money.
We'll certainly see what happens.